Oh, folks, I got what we like to call in this business. Well, I'm not sure what to call it, come to think of it. Somehow it manages to be both bad and funny. It's funny. But first, just let me say thank you. Since the debut of PC Review, the email's been blowing up. And it's been a non-stop melody of tweets off of Twitter. So, thank you again, and let's keep it going. Wait, what are you doing? Go back. I wasn't done. Thank you. Unbelievable. I just gotta talk about Twitter. I mean, the times I've been getting tweets from Twitter is just... it borders on weird. 12:48 a.m.
2:13 a.m. 3:07 a.m.
Don't get me wrong, I'm very, very grateful. But take yourselves to bed. Don't make me go get your mama. Oh, the good old days. You know, like before the internet, when human beings used to talk face to face and not pretend to be a piece of wood? Stupid planking. Now, if you practice planking, just let me say, it's never too late to repent. Find a peer and talk about your planking problems. Get help. Stop wasting your time pretending to be something you're not. Because I don't care what others have told you. You are not a piece of wood. In the late 90s, there was this dynamic duo of magicians that began to gain serious popularity. I know! I didn't think anything was popular in the 90s. The name was Penn and Teller. Well, these guys. Look at these two. What an odd pair.
I mean, look at this tall drink of water.
And then look at this adorable little man.
And they could not be more opposite. The tall guy never shuts up, and the tiny guy there doesn't say a word. When you think of it, aren't you kind of scared for Tiny Teller? I mean, if a trick goes wrong, the big guy could squash the little guy. And no matter what kind of magic he cooks up, there's only one man that mastered raising the dead. David Blaine? No, not David Blaine. I believe his name was Jesus! And I think he took that one to his grave. And then, used it again and rose himself from the dead. Your move, Penn. So Mr. Jillette made it in the news here, minus his petite partner, but not for his magic. It all started with Mr. Bam! Gleen Beck hosted Penn on his show, and they began to discuss the practice behind his magic. I mean, they go on and on for 10 minutes of mindless chatter, and then right in the middle, Penn drops a bomb. I mean, not an actual bomb, he just stated he was a professed atheist. And he states that the practice behind his craft has made him see religion as hocus pocus. That's kind of funny because we call magic hocus pocus. So my first question would be, who's Gleen Beck? Gleen Beck got his kickstart back in 2000 in Tampa, Florida as a radio show host. He's considered one of the 21st century's most conservative commentators and now has the Gleen Beck Program that has a proverbial who's who list of viewers. And so my next question would be, who's Gleen Beck? So Glenn begins to ask Penn to elaborate on his atheism. And suddenly Penny Boy decides to go off on a 15-minute rant about the dangers and the evils of organized religion, and how churches pervert their followers and brainwash them into believing whatever they want, so on and so forth. So after the show, Penny decides that he's going to write a book on the horrors of religion and also on atheism. And wouldn't you know it, he's got one of those clever titles for it. It's called Oh God No. Actually, that's not clever at all. Notice how his hands always seem folded? I mean, is he praying? Well, he is an atheist, so he may be praying to himself or David Blaine. So in his book, he rewrites the 10 Commandments. Now, if he had bought the Blu-ray Director's Edition of Cecil B. DeMille's The 10 Commandments featuring Charlton Heston, he would have realized that the 10 Commandments are actually copywritten. Yeah, see, it's right there. Penn's going to be doing a whole lot of magic to pay for that copyright infringement. Now, towards the end of his book, he makes a call to all atheists. In it, he urges atheists to stand up, speak up, and step forward, to advocate and push their atheism because the truth cannot live in the closet. He says to make it clear in your homes and to your children and to the world that there is no God. He also suggests that atheists gather together to reinforce themselves. Doesn't that all sound familiar? Penn, it is familiar because that's what they call religion. And we have a name for those reinforcing gatherings. We call it church. You know, for someone who hates organized religion so much, he sounds dangerously close to starting one.
This isn't religion, it's just a gathering of like-minded people to reinforce our truth and spread it to followers and such. That isn't religion.
Here's the weirdest part. He's calling his book The Atheist Manifesto. Refresh my memory. Isn't there some other book of writings and beliefs in it that others use as a program for their lives? It's only at the end of his book that the picture becomes clear. He says you have to tell the truth. You have to tell it all the time. That there is no God, and that no one can relax in a closet. You know, I have to agree with him. Closets are amongst the most uncomfortable and scariest places on earth. I mean, why else would modern-day horror movies use a closet as a base for all kinds of evil and a haven for creatures? I can just see next year's big horror movie.
Dad, is it a monster in my closet?
No, son. It's much worse than that. It's an atheist.
Poor Penn. We'll pray for you, big guy. And Teller. Sweet Mr. Teller. Be careful. I mean, Penn must have lost his pet chinchilla in some kind of horrible accident, and now he needs another tiny hairy companion to fill the void of dead Mr. Snuggles. And he's blaming God for it. And he's taking it out on this sweetheart of a miniature man. But you know it's never going to disappear? Episodes of PC Review. And we'd like to keep the magic going. I like doing this. So if you come across anything in the news about religion or churches, send it over. And tell me, church, Where do you pray at? Send your creative responses to the email link
Above.
or find us at Twitter on the link
Below.
And I don't care what time you're tweeting, but your mama does. As always, thanks for watching. I'm William McInnes, and I approve this message.